Good afternoon, everyone. It's so wonderful to have a big list of the colleagues joining in, both panelists as well as the audience. Right now, we have 33 participants attending this webinar for the Journal of Interdisciplinary Studies in Education. It's also so pleased to see colleagues from all over the world, US and beyond. So this afternoon, we are planning to go for about 30 minutes of discussion related to the journal. And also we would like to update you on the publication process. And also this is an opportunity for many of our colleagues who are on the reviewer board or the readers or our future authors. They have a chance to an opportunity to interact and meet with our senior editors as well as section editor or associate editors. So this afternoon, right now, we have 35 participants joining across the country and outside the US. So without any further, the background, I'd like to go ahead and say a few housekeeping before I formally introduce my associate editors, editorial assistant. This is our annual editorial meeting. We happen to host this sort of meeting twice a year. The journal also published twice a year. And on the screen, you can see the latest issue, volume 8, number 1. This is a special issue by Professor Mike Lane. And we were so pleased to have this special issues, and it's well received among the scholarly community, members of the scholarly community. So this is my agenda of this afternoon. We like to have a very short, brief meeting, spending few minutes here, there on different topics. The focus will be on the APA as well as our production in the publication production stage when we receive the manuscript. So again, welcome everyone. This is Krishna Bista, Associate Professor of Higher Education at Morgan State University here in Baltimore. I'm also Associate Editor of the journal as well as Founding Editor for the Journal of International Student. So this moment, I am very pleased and honored to have my colleague who are on the editorial team as an assistant editor, associate editor, as well as the founding editor, Dr. Emani Sala. This is the minute. Please go ahead and introduce. So Laura, would you like to unmute your microphone and introduce yourself, please?
Yes. Hi, everyone. I'm Laura Metcalf. I'm living in Arizona, and I am an educational leadership professor for Ottawa University in Phoenix and in Kansas, and I do teach online.
Thank
you. I am also a section editor for JISE, and I'm looking forward to our meeting today.
That's great. All right. Okay, Dr. Cook, would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Misty Cook. I'm calling from Singapore. So I teach at the National University of Singapore. And this is, of course, my first time to join the journal. So I very much look forward to learning from everybody here.
Thank you very much. Next, Dr. Dudu Saruki.
Good afternoon. My name is Vanessa Dodo Saricki. I'm an associate professor of science education at Morgan State University here in Baltimore. And I am one of the new associate editors for JISE.
Welcome. Okay, next we have Dr. Ellen. Please unmute your microphone. Yes, go ahead.
Hi all, I'm Dr. Shreya Allen from the University of Arizona. Please forgive me, I have a cold. Excited to be here and excited to support and help in any way that I can.
All right, great, thank you. So good to have you here. Then also we have Dr. Sala, founding editor of the Journal of Interdisciplinary Studies in Education.
Hello, good afternoon, folks. I'm sorry, I just joined a few minutes late, but I'd like to welcome all of you, and I appreciate all your help with serving on the editorial board. Thank you.
Thank you. And we have one of the right hands of the journal here, We have many editorial assistants who have been providing wonderful support, but Sarif Uddin is one of our right hand here. Sarif, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thank you, Dr. Vista. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Sharif. I am a doctoral student of Morgan State University from Educational Leadership, and I am working for Dr. Vista and also working for JISE. Thank you.
Thank you. Right
Thank you,
now we
Dr.
have,
Saleh.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Right now we have 41 wonderful colleagues from different part of the globe again listening us, joining our editorial team. Those who are new, please go ahead and use the our chat box, chat room for your questions, and we'll take your questions in a few minutes. And also we will invite you on our editorial team on different capacity, depending on your interest and availability. And we'll be unfolding some information about the journals. And remember, you are very important, and we like to respect your time and also joining us this afternoon. So I'd like to go ahead and go to the next slide for the next information. So first of all, we like to congratulate those intellectuals, scholars who are willing to serve on the advisory board. We're so fortunate to have 31 scholars from US and again outside, mainly from US and Canada and other part of the globes to join our advisory board member. They are senior professor who just retired, or those who are the award-winning professor of educational leadership, and they are the our mentors. They will be also joining once a year in our annual editorial meetings. This afternoon, some of them are here in our audience pool. Some of them plan to join the next meeting. So again, welcome everyone. Welcome to our advisors, senior advisors who are serving on the journal as a pathfinders and our mentors for authors, for editors, and for the other colleagues. So here is also the list continues. We have again 31 individuals serving on our advisor boards. Then to talk about the history, we have fairly short history of this journal, but even in a short time frame, we were able to mark a big steps, publishing several issues. Right now we have 40% of acceptance rate, and we have also sophisticated advanced platform that we are hosting this journal as an open access journal. Also, we have our print on demand. Right now we have 55 individuals serving on our core team, although the reviewers and then editorial assistant goes more than 55 individuals. We have other sister journals, total 10 journals in our open journal platform, and we are so fortunate to have that system and wonderful colleagues serving on the team. Here are the aims and scope of the journals. We pretty much cover a broad range of topics in education, including leadership, communication, globalization, multicultural, and other aspects of K-12 and higher ed. So the journal has a fairly wide range of topics. And in the members in the audience, if you are listening and if you have questions, please use chat room. And also we are very open to add new areas of research in education. And also we rely on your expertise, those who are interested to serve on our review team, editorial team, or editor for the special issues that we consider once a year. Then this is our current headquarter, the leadership team from our editorial office, and that exclude other members in review boards. But if you happen to visit our website here, ojed.org/JISE, that includes the full list of the entire list of our editorial board member. Then next, this is our review board members. We have again representing different states, different countries, universities. So we are very happy to have a diverse team of colleagues serving on our editorial team. Okay, and here is also, it continues, and we have also our partner association and partner journals you have seen on the sidebar of the journals. Okay, and this is our working handbook, the manual for the editorials. We publish twice a year in our spring and fall. The good thing is also we have 15,000 readers from the Star Scholars Network that represent 10 journals. and the member publications. Some of the hot news from the journals will go in our Global Connection newsletter. Global Connection newsletter reach out to 15,000 members from all the journals. So colleagues who are listening us this afternoon, if you have books, project, or the articles, awards, anything that you like to circulate and share to the members of our Global Connection newsletter, please email to our editorial assistant, and he will connect to the newsletter team. So this is one opportunity for you. And whenever we have the special issues ready, so we plan to put either in the summer or the winter. And you see the timeline for the copy editing, layout, and publication. This is for our the part of the editorial team handbook. And if you have any questions, please use the chat room. I will take questions in a few minutes. And so pleased to see we have 44 members joining this afternoon from across the country and beyond. It's so good to have you here this afternoon. So this is our current manuscript status. And then at the end of this meeting, we'll be also looking into the production stage. And I'd like to request our associate editor to stay a couple of minutes after our meeting. We'll be talking about the issues and then some of the role responsibility, a few minutes, taking a few minutes after the meeting, right after this meeting. The other, we are also planning the larger vision of the 2020. So here, what our plan, you can see the 5 points. The first one, expanding our global network of the authors and scholars. So this is something we are doing to expand, to reach out beyond the US and also encourage the author from Global South, so that we became the part of the mentorship, part of the collaboration with many scholars who are looking for the opportunity to collaborate and work together. We also want to increase our editorial team, as well as the enhance our editorial workflow and then journal website. As I mentioned earlier, we have now advanced high quality platform for the journals. We rely on open access journal platform. So it is pretty good for the authors, reviewers. You can sign up and let us know if you want to serve on our editorial team as a reviewers, section editors. We are very pleased to have you there. Also, we are creating pathways for our emerging scholars, many doctoral students, master students, and try our best to match up with their area of interest with our existing reviewers as well as the associate editors. And also, we are looking the sustainable plan. If your department, university, college is willing to be the part of the sponsorship to fund our project, please reach out to us. We like to highlight, we like to collaborate, and create the win-win opportunity for both journal as well as your department, so that the department colleagues will have opportunity, equal exposures to serve on our editorial board. And so far as we do not have any fees or membership for our authors to submit or publish manuscript to us. Okay, again, please use your chat room if you have any questions. We are very happy to take your questions in a few minutes. Dr. Sala, would you like to add anything? Please feel free to stop me. So I request my panelists, my associate editors, please stop me anytime if you like to add any information that I'm missing here. Okay. So you see here a few bubbles. We are looking a special section within the journal is a regular section for the graduate student. So graduate student, master's, doctoral students, if you have some manuscript that you like to publish, we have the venue opportunity to consider your manuscript. Also, we are increasing our institutional partnership, that your department, your college willing to work with us, please let us know. And also for our since we have a really large network of the advisors, we are planning to have a commissioned special essays collection. These essays are short essays coming from both practitioner and researchers. So our advisory board members, our colleagues, they can write short essays less than 5 pages or maybe less than 10 pages, practitioner opinions, or their experience, expertise in the field. So we also welcome commissioned essays, the essays for our next issues for 2020. And also we're looking for the artwork as a cover page. We like to stick on the same cover page for the year. So we publish two issue per year. The same cover art logo will stay for the each issue that we publish. So those who are interested designing cover art, either for this journal or any other journals in our network, or the book project that we have in partnership with our traditional publisher, please let us know. So as I said earlier, we have expanded our outreach and engagement. The Global Connection newsletter is a newsletter of all the journals that we have in our network that goes to at least 15,000 subscribers. We are also increasing our social media outreach. Recently I spoke with the 5 editorial assistants. We are working hard to have our presence on social medias, and the members who are listening us, if you have any interest to serve on social media outreach, please let us know. We also have a monthly webinar. Every month we have a new topics on graduate students or research and publication, or any topic that you recommend from our association, including Journal of International Student, Journal of Interdisciplinary Studies, Comparative and International Education Society, and Star Scholars Network. We have been doing joint webinars on the suggested topic. Then also we have started rewarding our best reviewers. Once a year will receive Editor Choice Best Award, a certificate and acknowledgement. This is something helpful for our early career scholars for their tenure and promotion, or requirement for their graduation. So those, we really value the hard work of our reviewers. We like to see the quality feedback, the feedback that our authors can use and enhance their manuscript. Our goal is to support every single author that submit their manuscript to us. And your quality feedback is very important. So please provide constructive feedback, and we remember your hard work. And you are on our watch list. You are on our list to reward you to the Editor's Best Choice Award each year. Okay, then we have also some responsibility for our editors, associate editors, section editors, and reviewers. We have a manuals. We'll be happy to send those manuals, or they are also posted on the website. So that there are lots of things that you can take advantage of being a section editor as well as the reviewers. The best thing, the most important, is the networking. You never know that there would be your colleagues working together, or maybe your future employer. There would be someone writing your letter of recommendation for the job or for tenure and promotion. So there is lots of things that you may not know right now. But once you start working and building a network, it would be so rewarding to serve on any of these editorial board of the journals, book project, anything of that nature. So again, thank you. And we plan to implement the APA manual. APA 7th edition has just released, and all of our section editor is entitled to receive a free copy. Go ahead and fill out the form on the website, APA manual website. So you are entitled to receive a free copy. So beginning from 2020, we would like to include the APA 7th manual recommendation. We also encourage our authors, and our section editor, associate editor are also highly encouraged to use 7th edition effective from January 1st. There is not a lot of changes between the 6th edition and the 7th edition, but the few languages, for example, minority students or minority population, if the author is identifying the minority population from the rest of the population in the manuscript, they are strongly recommend to use minority studies, or minority people, or anything of that nature. The goal is to reduce the biasness. And there are also certain keywords per any other confusing language that we have been using traditionally. So as a section editor, as an authors, we like to stick with 7th edition APA manual. and the more information will be posted on the website so that we will not be lost in confusion. And in the time of difficulties, or if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to any editors. Email address, their contact information are available on the website of the journal. So this is a sample of the call for a paper for a special issue. This is a template. We like to receive a very brief proposal if you are planning to submit a special issue, um, uh, maybe about 1 or 2 pages, depending on the topic that you propose. We have also sample, and let us know if you have any plan to publish a special issue in this journal. This is one of the book project that we have agreement for this. Routledge, Taylor and Francis, they contract for 10 years, 3 to 5 books per year. Although this is very specific on a global student mobility, but also we have a partnership in a working relation with the publishers. So in case if you have a book project thing you are thinking of doing soon, please let us know. We are very happy to connect with our contact editors from the publishers. And these are some of our institutions who have provided support or working together on the same goal, being on the same page of publications and supporting authors from the global south and beyond. These are some of the member publications, few books that we have published so far. I think there are 15 books already published from our members of the global network newsletters. And if you have any questions, these are our contact person. Please feel free to email, and their contact, email and affiliations are also there. We will also have a regional editors, particularly for in Asia, in some part of the Europes, Africa. We will have regional editors. The information will be available on our website very soon. Meanwhile, if you have any questions, please feel free to email any of us or any person that you feel comfortable with. Okay, any questions that you want to ask editorial member, our section editors, associate editors, please unmute your microphone. And if you want to chime in, any things you want to add, please feel free to add. And I will take the questions meanwhile. Dr. Sala, would you like to add anything?
Maybe there's a couple of questions on the chat, Chris, that we can answer. One of the questions, if the journal is indexed with Scopus. We're not indexed with Scopus. Chris?
Sure, yeah, I'd like to add on that too. We have submitted our applications for the Scopus. They want to see the last 3 years of the work. And then also at one point we failed to turn in the hard copies. So now we are in process, and we are in a schedule to get reviewed our applications. This is a long process, and Scopus is probably one of the hardest database to get approved soon, but we are on target and we are on plan. And then member, my panelists, please also look into the chat room, and then any questions that you want to answer, go ahead and answer. A colleague is asking, is there a way to see the list of participants today? Yes, there is a way. You can see right now, I can see on my screen 47 participants joining from different parts of the globe. But I am more than happy to share that with you. Then there is another question as well. What are the rationales of expanding global network of authors, scholars, and leaders? The rationale is the journal is a platform for everyone, platform for the scholars. So having this one expanded to the other part of the globes, we know we have more colleagues in our networks. This is the expansion of knowledge, and also understanding each other's. We want to have more globalized society. We like to have a journal as a platform so that everyone take advantage of any things that we publish. It's no longer the traditional way of publishing articles and listing them in a paywall so the publisher make money out of your hard work. So we are strongly advocating the open access and reaching out to larger, the network of the scholars, so that our emerging scholar as well as the senior scholars, they would have a connection, and hopefully the journal will bridge a gap. Then we have a question from Sarah Banu. Sarah is asking how to become a reviewers for the journal. What are the requirement and process, and how much work reviewers should be expected? To become a reviewer, simply email us. You can email your CV or just an email and let us know your area of interest. The requirement is very simple. You are expected to review maximum 2 manuscripts per year. We do not ask more than to review 2 manuscripts, but we like to receive a quality feedback so that the authors would take advantage of that. And our section editor will invite you. And once you become a reviewer, you are also asked to update your expertise, your area of interest, so that we match your interest with the manuscript that you are reviewing. Again, my section editors, please take a look the chat room, and then any questions that you want to answer, please go ahead and answer. Then I see more questions here. Okay, this is from...
There's a question from Lisa Lynn.
Sure.
Lisa, you're asking if the manuscript comes to you and it's not well structured and still needs work, can you send it back? Yes, you can actually send it back to the authors and ask them to revise their manuscript, but you need to give them a little bit of feedback to tell them what exactly they need to do.
Thank you, Dr. Sal. Yeah,
I hope. I'm sorry, Chris?
Yes, we do not compromise the quality of the publication. So if as a reviewer you feel it's not worthy of reviewing, please provide some feedback, and it goes back to the section editor. Actually, we have already 2 filter. We have a managing editors. He or she will do the filtering, and then managing editor will assign to our associate editors. Associate editors, if they feel this manuscript is important and worth sending to our reviewers, they will make a first decision there. And sometime if the associate editors feel the manuscript is not good, it goes back to the authors, and author will polish it and send it back to the managing editors, and managing editor goes to the process goes to the associate editors. Dr. Sala, do you want to add anything else on that?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Any other questions that we have? Okay.
Okay. We're gonna check the author's guideline link. Maybe it was working before, but we'll double check.
Yes, sure. And then I just sent the link. At this moment, I'd like to request Dr. Cook to share some of her experience, anything that you want to say to our reviewers or the attendees who are listening us, 47 individuals from different schools, universities. Dr. Cook?
Sure. Yep. Okay, thank you. So far I have reviewed a couple of papers. What I have found was that one of the authors was sent back 2 reviews. One was to say that the paper was declined, and the other one was to say that the paper was submitted or was accepted with revision. So one went out before the other, and so the author was a little bit confused as to why originally the paper was accepted and then rejected by 2 reviewers. So I just wonder what the process is. So by the time I checked online to see the status of the paper and sent both of the reviews back to the authors, the author was a little bit confused as to why then he received an additional comment from me. So I thought when I released the reviews, it was all together, but in fact, the author had received one review before the other, and then subsequently I contacted the author again. So I just wonder if you could clarify what the process is.
Sure. For a while, we were in a transition as well, migrating from our old website to the new, advanced website. However, as an section editor, you have a privilege even to reject the articles, manuscript that they are accepted. So we have that, the authority, even to reject for those if they are somehow technically with a technical error rejected. So you have until the last minute, we hold the authority of whether to publish or to reject, because sometimes manuscripts are well received, by the reviewers, and the author failed to update APAs or some of the language, or the update on the method. So there is always chance to be rejected. And then also we ask the reviewers to provide the quality feedback unless and until editorial board is not happy with the minimum criteria of publications as we outline in our manuals. We will be doing back and forth. However, our goal is always to encourage and support and publish. Sometimes authors, they want to hear the result of the review in a 2 or 3 weeks. Even they're less than 60 days, they send us email asking, is it accepted, do you have any updates? Usually it takes longer. Please bear with us. If you are in a hurry, if you want to see something quickly published, probably this venue is not the right venue. We have long process, at least 6 weeks for the review, and sometimes reviewers decline our invitations, and if we recruit another reviewers, it takes another 6 weeks. So we try our best to try to send out the results within the 6 weeks, but it takes longer. Process sometimes becomes tedious, and those in the early career scholars sometimes may feel it's tedious and kind of discouraged. But remember, our goal is to help you publish, and this is a voluntary work. All of us are busy, and we also have a full-time job. But we try our best to help you at any way.
Thank you very much for that detailed answer. But can I just ask one more question?
Please.
My question, thank you. And my question is, so once the author resubmits the paper, does it go back to me, or does it go to another section editor or reviewer?
Good question. Technically, as a first reviewer, and this is also something helpful for our reviewers and the readers who are listening us this afternoon. Yes, the first time when you review and then we ask the revise and resubmit, technically it goes back to you, not any new reviewers or new editors. The system automatically will assign it to the reviewers if they have stayed revise and resubmit. If they have accepted, it will not go back to the same reviewers. So and if we happen to make any technical errors, please let us know. So whoever start will finish with make an independent decision. And there are two types of decision when you say revise and resubmit. When you say revise and resubmit without any review, so in that case, you as an associate editor will make a final decision whether to publish or to reject the revised version. If you say revise and resubmit, and if you check mark, one of the check mark is going back to those reviewers who also says revise and reviewers. So technically, automatically, the system will forward the revised manuscript to those reviewers who said revise and resubmit. And once you get their reviews, and as an associate editor, you make a final decision, A or nay.
Yeah, that's great. But thank you very much. So far, I have thoroughly enjoyed reading the papers. I've only just joined a few months ago, but with the papers I have read, I have really enjoyed reading them. So thank you very much for the opportunity for allowing me to review the papers.
Thank you. Laura, would you like to give any message, any tips to our authors or those who are listening, those who are in early career as an associate editor?
Dr. Bist, I think there is a question and question answer area.
Okay, so Laura, go ahead and we'll take a question after that.
So I've enjoyed being a reviewer and also an associate editor, and I haven't had any challenges. And if I do, I reach out to you, Dr. Bista, or someone else if I need to answer questions or answer to my questions. And my experience so far has been, I had an author who had to make some changes to his document, and he took quite a while to do that actually. And I just got those back, and I reviewed it, and then I've sent it off to copy editing for their comments as well. And so far, I haven't had any challenges. I've had some reviewers who haven't responded, but then I go in a few days later and see where they're at, and possibly as the date gets closer, I will assign another editor or another reviewer, excuse me. And it's just been a great opportunity. And then I do rate the reviewers after they've submitted their comments and their recommendations. So that way they're at least getting, the stars that are tied to their experience. So I've enjoyed it very much. And Dr. Vista, you've been very helpful and supportive. Everybody's been great. So far, so good.
Thank you, Laura.
You're welcome.
Now let's take a few questions.
Dr. Porter, yes, to answer your question, yes, you actually would prefer that you add some comments. If we say submission decline, which is the generic email that gets sent to the authors, what we'd like you to do to add a few sentences explaining or why the submission is declined. Also, the author should get a copy of the reviews. And we encourage all our reviewers to provide as detailed as possible feedback to the authors, even if it is going to be declined, but we'd like to help them work on the manuscript to make it work for maybe another journal.
Thank you. An additional message. I have a questions here from all the way to Norway, asking how, I'm not sure how I can contribute, but this means the network may want to have a geographical balance. Yes, we would like to have you on our review board if you are interested, if your time allows you. Also, if you have colleagues interested to write for the journal, please let us know. We always need help, because since we have many journals, if your area of interest and expertise are beyond this journal, let us know. Our main platform is ojed.org. I'm sending in a chat room as well. And Sharif, you said there are more questions. Please go ahead and read the questions. Somehow
it is in the question answer area.
Okay, can you go ahead and, okay, Q&A, okay, there are 6, I see now.
Yes. Hello, my name is Son of Fikiri. I am an associate professor of chemistry at Baltimore City Community College, as well as a graduate student at Morgan State University and CCLDP program. And I am very glad in joining this discussion. Thank you for your invitation. I would like to ask is on the nature of the article published. I am doing along to my 3 colleagues studying the distribution of heavy metals in Patapsco River in Baltimore area. The goal of the study is identify the pollution and primary source of ethnographic elements. It is more an analytical chemistry. Once completed, can we able to publish our findings and utilize this network?
The answer is no. Please, I encourage you to read the aims and scope of the journal. And I know many of the participants in the room, some of them are my doctoral students, and some of you are already familiar with it. This is education journal, very specific. Please, I like to tell you that we do not publish anything from the hardcore science, engineering, or any other disciplines. Look into the journals that fit within your scope of the studies. But here is, you can see on my screen, the aims and scope of the journals. Although we have lots of topics to include within education, this is so broad. And I encourage all of you to read the aims and scope of the journal before you submit. If you do not think, or if you have any questions regarding the nature of manuscript that you write. Sharif, you will be finding the abridged version of the questions. The meanwhile, I like to request Dr. Ellen to share your experience, anything and then I'll get back to Dr. Dudu Saruki.
Okay.
Briefly, would you like to share your experience, any suggestion, anything? This is an opportunity to interact with our members in the audience.
So I guess the only thing that I would say is, so I'm like both reviewer and copy editor. It's been great. Like Lynn said, the articles have been amazing to read and to like really work with the research. So I really enjoy reading them and giving feedback on how to make it stronger, but also in a project that I'm recently working with is how to not overcomplicate it so it can't be read even by, your article can't be read by academics. So I would say that like, regardless if it gets picked up or not, I think that what I found in working with this board is that we are here to kind of help advance the scholarship of whoever wants to improve themselves. So don't be afraid to ask questions. We're here to support.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate. Lisa also has been with our editorial board, and just bring her in a panelist. Okay.
We have a question
like
about the practitioner piece, Chris. We have a question about the practitioner piece, which is a new edition that's gonna start next year.
Correct.
Sarah Bano, she's asking kind of like how long is the piece and what the procedure to submit a piece on a practitioner piece.
We'll be sending out the reminders, and then the details will be posted on the website. This is something we are implementing from beginning of 2020. I have just finalized with the help of Chris Glass and other colleagues. So we like to have a uniform across all our journals regarding guidelines, word limit. But at this point, I'd say 5 to 7 pages with less than 5, 10, or maybe 10, less than 10 citation references. That may be the one piece of information that you like to share with the readers. That could be the research in brief or opinion, practitioner, or any topics. But you'll be looking into, we'll be sharing call for papers and the details in a few days, actually a few weeks. So you will have that on the website. Okay. Then before we take the next questions, I'd like to ask Dr. Dudu Saruki, would you like to share your experience, anything, any information, tips for our authors or members, those who are reviewing manuscript for us?
Sure. So like the other panelists, I have thoroughly enjoyed working on this journal. My suggestion is to really pay close attention to the author's guideline for the types of submissions that you're going to be submitting, and make sure you adhere to those. And the publishing process really is a learning experience for both reviewers, editors, and authors as well. And so having reviewed several articles before, I try to be conscious of the type of feedback that I provide so that it's helpful in refining or revising the manuscript if need be, or just getting the author to think a little more broadly or a little more deeply about their topic, really both, because sometimes we become so entrenched in the work that we're doing that we don't always think about how that work ties into other areas. And so having someone review it or having and getting that feedback and getting feedback from the editors is helpful in that growth process as a scholar.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions? Okay, here is, no, looks like we covered all the questions. Dr. Sala, would like to add anything else at the
What I'd like to add is for all reviewers and all participants, if you would please go and update your profile, your research interest in particular, because the hardest thing we do as section editors or managing editors is to try to match your research interest with the articles that we send for you to review, because many of you have very cryptic or not even the section of research interest is not filled. So please go back and look at your profile, and if you haven't added a brief description about your research interest, please do so.
Thank you so much. So we are toward the end of the meetings. So thank you so much for everyone. We truly appreciate for taking your time for this afternoon, and we wish all of you happy holidays. After this meeting, the editorial board member, the panelist will stay a few minutes because we'll be talking about the production, some of the process that we have, because we are planning to publish the next issue of the journals. So thank you again. So at this moment, please feel free to leave the meeting. And again, look forward to reading your manuscript. Thank you so much.